Welcome, everyone. Um, so I think we can start with just how would you describe yourself at this stage of life when you have so much of experience in faith and business and your distinguished fields? So maybe we can start with Dr. Bran and then we'll move.
So it's interesting how to describe yourself. I think one of the very first sessions we had with Minister Tan, he was asked, how does he describe that? And he said he didn't have a burning bush moment where, God called him like Moses from the bush. But I had one of those moments when I was 4 years old, and God called me into service, and if I can put it this way, on a mission to help put to practice the golden rule, to do unto each other as we'd have others do unto us. So I can't really describe who I am without reference to that calling, and my life is just lived out in pursuit to try to live out that calling.
Thank you very much. I think the same question for Mr. Noor Muhammad also. And then
What is the question?
question is, how would you describe yourself? Especially in your personal life and mainly in your profession, how would you describe yourself?
Well, I'm just a lawyer and nothing else. But that profession opened up the whole world for you. You want to fight? I have seen it in court. You want to fight on the street? It's there. So the life is seeing people fighting, quarreling, and don't want any peace. And that's the way of life. I mean, if you tell me you want to impose any condition, who you think you are? They will tell you who you think you are. They impose any condition. I believe in something, I believe in it. So you get caught in this problem. You are trying to impose, they are trying to impose. When I hear you, I respect you for what you feel. But they may not. You may feel that you are very high up and telling them this is the way up. They say no. But they don't have the knowledge. They don't have the exposure. They don't have the experience. They are also not occupied in life. And it is in the majority. So when you go to court, you get people fighting. I tell them, let's settle. No, there's ego involved. Right? There's religion involved. It's not about religion, it's about you. The religion is okay, I can assure you. There is no problem in religion. If there is a problem with religion, it is you personally, not the religion. Right? Today Islam is a topic. It's not about Islam, it's the follower, the believer. He misunderstood, he misinterpreted. But you have knowledge, no knowledge of your own religion. How do I help you? Do I tell you to read? You can read. Right? You want to show off, you got your ego. That's why lawyers have a busy time in court. You are paid to try to win, not to get people to settle, because they don't want to settle. I think I stop here.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm from Tokyo, Japan. First of all, I'm very surprised at holding this conference. Here is a venue. So usually in Japan, this kind of meeting is inside, something like a university or some academic, facilities. Now, this meeting held in these, beautiful places. I really surprised. I very learned a lot. So I am a Secretary General of Interfaith Dialogue, Religions of Peace, 20 years. Today is 20 years. So when I was a child, I have no idea related to these, religions. So my dream in childhood is would be football player, soccer players. But in the 20 years old, I joined these activities. So now I work in the Secretary General of Interface Activities because I think it's most important is the encounter of the people. One of the influence person is Mr. Lawrence Chan, so CEO of this event. I and Lawrence, we met 20 years ago. And then I surprised his energetic and his passion. I remembered one day we discussed about organized some event in Singapore, so interface event. Nobody wanted to want to be the organizer in the world, in the youth age. So when it's maybe the middle of 30s, only Lawrence Chan, even below 30 years old, he raised a hand. We, Singapore, decide to have an interface event. So bringing youth leaders, 100 youth leaders gathered Singapore. We try to, he said, I try to discuss with government, Singapore, discuss with the youth intelligence network, Singapore. I just, Lawrence, you say that, but it's very difficult. But Lawrence decided, just came back to the Singapore. After 10 months, he did. He held the interface network event, including the participants, the minister of government. I really surprised when I was 35 years old. He is very young, but he is experienced. You know, when we discuss, just only one person decided to have this, event. 10 months ago, 10 months later, he success. I really respect. Then, past 20 years, I met again. So, encounter of the person, this is inspiring to me for engaging with these activities. Thank you.
Thank you for showing your solidarity with him and his organization. My next question is, I said in the talk that our previous generation tried to make it pretty much clear that faith is a very personal thing. It should not come outside from your house, or it should not be in public, or especially should not be the matter of your office and state. But especially, I would say in 70s and 80s, this is what I used to have a discussion with my father. So you guys, I guess that you were born in those times. So how come that you are in this field of faith when everybody was saying no, faith should not be discussed outside? So how you guys came with these ideas, and what motivated you to come into this field?
I'm so honored that you think maybe I was still born in the 70s or 80s. Thank you. I take that as a compliment. It's, there's, as they say, there's two things you don't talk about. One, religion and politics, and I can also throw in money. You shouldn't ask somebody how much they make. But in business, that's changed. So I'm working with companies like Google, American Express, Amazon, PayPal, Salesforce, KPMG, Deloitte, PwC. These are companies I think everybody's heard about. And in the past several years, they've moved away from the idea that religion has to stay outside the door when you come in to work. And they've now fully incorporated religion and belief as part of diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. So I think the question, why? How did that happen? And I'll give one statistic. So my foundation, the Religious Freedom and Business Foundation, we monitor the Fortune 500 and the FTSE 100, their websites, to see if they mention or illustrate religion as part of their diversity. 2 years ago, 200 of the Fortune 500 had religion. That's, 40%. In the past year, it's more than 400. There's a movement. So more than double the number of Fortune 500 companies are now mentioning or illustrating religion as part of diversity in their companies. So two things account for that, maybe three things. The first is that, as you said, the millennials, the next generations, as they come to work, they don't have an idea that who I am doesn't matter. It's like who I am matters, and my identity matters. So when they come to work, they're looking for a company where their whole self, and for many people, their whole soul can come to work. So that's the first change. The second is that big companies like those that I mentioned, some American Express, Intel Corporation, Ford Motor Company, American Airlines, Texas Instruments, these 5 companies for 25 years included religion as part of diversity. But in the past 6 years, new companies are coming in. So this doubling is because there's a desire, there's a demand among the workforce. Second, there's now a tipping point. So enough companies have said, no, this matters. And then the third thing is related to our topic is October 7th and the Hamas attack in Israel, and then the response by Israel in Gaza. Workforces around the world, especially in the Western world, realize that religion, you can't ignore it. It affects people. People have an opinion. It might be one way or another, but people are deeply affected. So religion's no longer something that we can't ignore. The chief people officer of Accenture, the global consulting company, said, stop asking if religion belongs in the workplace. It does. And so this is new. It might be new for many of you in the room to hear this, but this is now the movement that's happening.
Thank you for this comprehensive, very detailed answer. This is what actually I was expecting and looking for, because I read quite but quite good number of articles and book of yours. So yeah, thank you. So Mr. Noor Mohammed, apart from being lawyer, I'm also aware that you are heading IRO, Interreligious Organization in Singapore. So this is the same question goes to you, that being a lawyer, then how you ended up in being a head of IRO, and how it is important for the Singaporean diversity, how it has been instrument for change and peace in Singapore.
Singapore, we don't put the religion at home when we go out. We bring the religion with us. So if you tell me to put my religion at home and I walk here, then who am I? What's my character like? How do I behave? Am I crude? Can I understand morality, ethics? So who runs the show if I put my religion behind? What are the rules? So Singapore is different. Come to office with your religion, no issue. Come for a party, bring your religion along. It's no issue at all. If you need to pray somewhere, we give you a space. Not one particular religion, all of them. If you say something bad about a particular religion, you end up in court. You will be charged in court. You will go to jail. If you have a particular religion, know your religion, behave yourself, and respect others. We have a special law on it. If I'm in court, time for prayers, say if today's Friday, there is compulsory prayers. They tell you, we'll stop here, you have your prayers. So near to lunchtime. Doesn't matter, all of you go. Have lunch and come back. And if you are having some buffet, having food together, we get your special food. For the Jews, we give them their food. For the Muslim, we give you your halal. That's Singapore. Inclusive. Practice your religion But we give you the space, respect one another. So when I was the president of IRO, Inter-Religious Organization, I have 10 religion with me. Can you imagine I have a function with a 10 religion? How to cater for their food? But we did. Everyone enjoyed together. But there is one point you tell them. Before you join the Inter-Religious Organization of Singapore, know your own religion first. If you don't know your religion, don't join us. Because you become a troublemaker. You start making remarks. So I found that many of them don't understand their own religion. I just give you an example of Islam. There is some problem generally. That is not the practice. Maybe it's political Islam. Maybe it's got hijacked. Right? And you know it. The basic Islam has no problem with anybody. If there's a problem, I will answer your question. Right? Like today, I thought I was a bit late because Friday, we got Friday prayers. I was praying hard that the priest will expedite the lecture because he will finish by 1:35. He finished by 1:40. I rushed, changed, and came here. But I have to go for my prayers. Right? But I didn't complain to them. It's okay because I got time. I didn't say, hey, Friday, man, you never respect, huh? And then that is not a good Muslim. You must find a way out. Take up the challenges. So I am against you put your religion at home. Bring your religion with you. If you ask me as a Muslim, you ask me a question, I will answer you. I got to be kind to you. I cannot be rude to you. I have to help you. So what is the problem? It is an asset actually. But why it is a problem? Because they don't know the religion. They don't know actually the genuine religion. Christianity, Buddhism, Taoism. I got 10 with them. And we are not quarreling. Sometimes you quarrel. You know what happened when we quarrel? You cannot hear this. Go inside the room. I will chair the meeting. I will tell the monk or the priest, settle it. You are the senior monk or you are the senior priest. In closed doors, we quarrel. Let me tell you, we all quarrel every day. We quarrel so badly about petty things. And it's really because we are human. But we give the space. Give the space, negotiate. So I would say, promote religion. Promote your Christianity. Promote Hinduism. They are all my friends. I don't have any problem, but in Singapore, the government promotes diversity, religious harmony. It promotes. Carry on, carry on. They even finance certain things. At one time in some malls, the water bill paid by the government. They want to promote it because people live in harmony. So the theme of the day should be living in harmony. If you find a religious person who doesn't behave himself, please know it's not the religion. It's that particular personality. He's a troublemaker. He has no knowledge. He's not a reader. He has no ethics. I will say it because I handle them personally. I don't give you a view. Whatever I said, I handle it. So today is not my view. Taoist, Buddhist, Muslim, they quarrel. It's because of them. So if you want to be in leadership, you want to get people to dialogue, please remember, it's not possible if they have no knowledge, if their upbringing was not good, their ethic was not good. You ask them to come for dialogue, they want to have fun. They want to be seen talking. They want to be seen condemning religion. They feel good. But they are not successful people in life. This is my experience. I stop here. There are many others.
Thank you very much. What you are saying, I totally agree because I have seen that in the streets, while talking to taxi drivers, while talking to shopkeepers, I could sense that when I went to mall, I could see the inclusion and diversity in Singaporean force and the way they treat their customers with all
No,
dignity, even for
because we work hard for it. We want everyone to behave. You bring your religion and you cite your religion to win something, we say you're not in order. The religion never teach you to be that. So we have been working hard. In fact, inter-religious organization came about after the Second World War. We tell them, stop fighting. Today, Middle East crisis, right? I have a tough time. I'm a Muslim. Middle East crisis came. I have the Jews in the inter-religion. Suddenly, a Jew said, your fasting month, I want to have a iftar. A Jewish guy. I'm a Muslim. Crisis on the ground. Our own won't look good. But he wants it with us. I said, yes, we will have it. You get condemned. But as a matter of principle, we organize it. I organize a big iftar. You know, during a fasting month, we break fast together, the Jewish and the Muslim. I have it in my magazine. You can distribute it, Lawrence, you are here. You can show them the magazine of how the Jews and the Muslim live together here. We are so close. But people say, how come you're so close, you're fighting? No, you know I have no knowledge of the issue of the day. If you have no knowledge, I can't help you. So in Singapore, you see a priest, you see an imam, you go to the mosque anytime. You go to the temple, I go to the temple. I tell you something, one day, someone was very rough with me in the mosque. You know, workers, they are not trained. You know, I told him, why don't you go to the church and see how they behave? The guy got a shock. You Muslim, you talk to me about church? But because we Singapore, we are exposed to the church, to the temple, right? So we are not afraid to cite other religion as an example. This is Singapore. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, my next question to Dr. Shinohara, I would ask you, what role do you believe interfaith dialogue plays in fostering collaboration and ethical practices in the business sector? If
I think
like,
it's 4 minutes. 4 minutes this.
yeah,
Maybe. Okay. So I very much impressed at the level Imam. So I learned the rich characteristics of interfaith activities in Singapore. So interfaith dialogue is very much impacted to the some areas, political, business, civil society, even academics. So one of the impact that we should impact on the business sector is now Religions of Peace insist about problem with growing disparity between haves and have-nots. So many, much richer, rich persons and disparity, rich person and poor, vulnerable people, it's a disparity, it's a growing up. So gaps between the poverty and the rich is very disparate, growing up. So now, our missions of Religions of Peace Asia insist all sectors, especially business sector, to take care for the all life of the dignity. We need to resolve this big gap. That's why this is our message is correcting the teachings of respectable all religions. So Buddhism said our human dignity is all equally is respectable. Christianity, Muslim leaders, all the same message. That's why Religions of Peace collecting the voices of the teachings of the respective religious leaders and then correct and express strongly to the all sectors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think there is one announcement, Mr. Yeah, please.
Okay.
Doctor.
Could I announce, ladies and gentlemen of Singapore, So could you share the panel, last one? So Religions of Peace Asia. So 22 countries, religious networks gathered, founded in 1976 in Singapore. So Singapore created our organization, ACRP, 1976. Each 5 years, we had ACRP assembly. So religious leader, 22 countries gathered. First assembly in Singapore, 1976. Then created the ACRP movement. Second is India. Third is Korea. Fourth is Nepal. Fifth is Indonesia. Sixth is Manila, Philippines. Seven is somewhere. Then I would like to decide. So ACRP officially decide 2026, 2 years later, 10th ACRP assembly will be held in Singapore, here. So could you, so our colleagues, because Singapore is a rich, diverse, rich characteristic of interfaith dialogues, Singapore created the ACRP movement in 1976. So 2026 is the anniversary, 50th anniversary, and 10th anniversary will be held in Singapore. Could you, all of you, to help for this our ACRP 10th assembly? Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we have Mr. Noor Mohammed from IRO, so maybe you guys can see how you both can collaborate.
Definitely, I would like to collaborate with IRO. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. It was great talking to you. It was great learning from you, and we hope that we'll keep meeting in such forums or maybe some other kind of forums and keep taking faith in a positive way further. Because, see, anyway, it is going to happen. Faith is going to come back in a different way. So better we equip ourselves. And I think you guys are forces to do that, to bring the positive change. So thank you very much for your time and everything and your thoughts.
Thank you.